take a look at the boatings, and we'll start things off with the Navy midshipmen who have won this race each of the last 2 championships in 2021 and then back in 2019. They've won this race 10 times in history, and here are the 5 women in the boat for Navy. The coxswain is Mariela Vergara, a freshman from Long Beach, California. In seat 4, Caroline Coleman, a senior from Arnold, Maryland. In seat 3, Katie Rowland, a sophomore from Fairfield, Connecticut. Stephanie Reed is in seat 2, a senior from Lake Forest, Illinois. And Phoebe Haller, a junior from Asheville, North Carolina, is at the bow. Navy will certainly be pushed by Boston University. They're in lane 2. BU, coxed by Audrey Lucerne, a freshman from Newtown, Pennsylvania. The stroke seat, Hannah Look, a freshman from Virginia Water in the UK. Lucy Stevens is in seat 3, a junior from Brisbane, Australia. Alexandra Castro, a junior from Cajamarca, Peru, in seat 2. And at the bow, it's Lily Kelly, a senior from West Roxbury, Massachusetts. Bucknell right next to the Terriers, third team up from the bottom. And in the stroke seat, Abby Gerst, a sophomore from Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania. Eliana Steele, a freshman from Paradise Valley, Arizona, is in seat 3. Abby Malik also in the middle of the boat, the sophomore from Lincroft, New Jersey. At the bow, it's Millie Malloy, a junior from West Simsbury, Connecticut. And right behind her is the cox, Ava Reisman, a junior from Brookline, Mass. Georgetown, one of the other middle boats here. The stroke seat, Katie Edling, a junior from Erdenheim, Pennsylvania. Jordan Keene is in seat 3, a freshman from Sarasota, Florida. Haley Jubitz, a junior from Ridgewood, New Jersey, is in seat 2. At the bow, it's Erica Arnold, a senior from Meadowbrook, Pennsylvania. And Katie Zarate is the cox, senior from Bethesda, Maryland. Remember, Georgetown came in right behind Navy in our first race of the morning. Lehigh is in lane 5. The Mountain Hawks feature Fatima Mumtaz as the cox, junior from Allentown, Pennsylvania. The stroke seat belongs to Lainey Donnelly, a first year from Wellesley, Mass. Navy. Emma Litchfield, a sophomore from Boston, Brewster, New York, University, is in lane 3. Then it's Tess Colino, a first year, in seat 2. And at the bow, it's Gabriella Pontoriorio, a first year from New Jersey, Lehigh, for the Hawks. Attention. Mountain Hawks.
Go.
And as they get going, we'll introduce you to the MIT engineers. The cox is Leah Bu, first year from New Orleans. Ariel Mobius, a sophomore from Ann Arbor, Michigan, is in the stroke seat. Carly Long, a junior from Tampa, Florida, in seat 3. Kemi Chung is in seat 2, a first year from Honolulu. And in the bow, it's Tamsin Nottage, a first year from Nassau in the Bahamas. And an early start for the Bucknell Bison as they have jumped out in front right there in lane 3.
It'll be interesting to see for the Navy midshipmen how this all goes, just because of they come in as the favorite. They posted the 3rd best time here today. Was that a little bit of fool's gold, or will Navy really be able to move themselves up and assert themselves as one of the strongest teams here? Because Boston University, they want to come out and show what they've got, but right now it's the Terriers running 3rd place behind both Bucknell and Navy.
And Navy, after trailing Bucknell for the start here, starting to make its move and pulling nearly even with Bucknell. And you've currently got Georgetown edging out in front of Boston University, followed not that far behind by Lehigh. And MIT currently trailing the pack as they are nearly a boat length behind Lehigh and Boston University. But a good response here from Bucknell to take what Navy has given them. Again, lane assignments, Navy in 1, followed by BU, Bucknell, Georgetown, MIT, and Lehigh in the grand final for the varsity 4. And points on the line in this one. The winner of this race will win 9 for its team, followed by the second place finisher gaining 8 points, and so on and so forth. Earlier in the petite final for the varsity 8, those were the official times. Holy Cross winning by just over 1.7 seconds over Colgate after trailing significantly at the 1,000-meter mark and really making up time and space over the last 700 meters of that race. Really impressive stuff from the Crusaders.
Yeah, from any of the morning prelims to right through now, that was the closest 1-2 that we had so far here today. And this Navy group, they're in lane 1, closest to your screen. They are led by a ton of seniors. Even this V4 boat has a pair of seniors, which when you take a look at Bucknell that's running ahead right now, Bucknell has 2 juniors, 2 sophomores, and a freshman. So this is a veteran group. Navy's laying in the weeds right now, and they even have one of their captains, a sophomore, or rather a senior from Lake Forest, Illinois, Stephanie Reed, who was away from the team last year because she was studying abroad in Europe, and yet she still had the respect of her teammates to be voted captain. So that should really tell you about the leadership from the 2-seater, Stephanie Reed, for Navy, the boat closest to us.
The Navy has pulled tight with Bucknell and maybe has grabbed the lead. It looks like the mids have certainly done that. We saw Georgetown rowing pretty even with Navy for periods of their race earlier, and Georgetown still very much in the picture. You see them 4th from the bottom, 3rd from the top, and BU has done a nice job recovering after a tough start for the Terriers. They've worked themselves closer to Bucknell, which is now a pretty solid 2nd place, 2 seats behind the mids, currently out in front.
Yeah, you know what? Georgetown is doing a really nice job here. Again, we knew it would be a 4-horse race based on the times from this morning, but I think that this is playing out even closer than that. These 4 teams were separated by 6.2 seconds in the prelims, and certainly right now teams 2, 3, and 4 are neck and neck, and Navy, they're just trying to keep pushing forward, not necessarily hang on because they're asserting themselves with a pretty nice lead, but as you see it right now, it's from closest to furthest. Navy, BU, Bucknell, Georgetown, lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4 are playing out exactly that way.
Boston University, they've started moving more water per every stroke because the stroke rate is only right around 32, but they've been able to catch Bucknell, as Georgetown has also caught the Bison after that terrific start over the first 600-700 meters, and BU has been able to pull up to only a couple of seats behind the mids, so Navy has not been able to pull away either in this race. You know, it was a tight race in the grand final last year. Navy won it by just over 3 seconds over BU. So right now looking like a similar type of margin, but still plenty of race to go with these crews still pretty close. We'll see if there's a push, as you see one from Bucknell after they were potentially overtaken by Georgetown up there in lane 4. The Bison have moved back in front, and they're only 2 seats behind Boston University. Find themselves 2 seats behind Navy, as we still, again, have probably about 700 or so meters left in this race, probably a little bit less than that at this point.
And some points will be on the line between Lehigh and MIT. They are really battling just at the top of your screen. The difference between 4th and 5th place in this race is going to be the difference between 5 and 4 points in the total standings.
MIT was trailing. They were in 6th place, but they have since overtaken Lehigh, and to finish in 5th place would be a nice accomplishment for an MIT team that hasn't competed in a couple of years. Holly Metcalf said, you know, all things considered, given that they have not participated in full competition the last couple of years, to have a strong performance in the grand final here today in the Patriot League Championships, that would certainly be something to go home happy with. But as we get into the final 500 meters, it's still Navy, BU, Bucknell, Georgetown, and all pretty evenly spaced. So will there be a challenge here from the Terriers? This has been quite a streak that Navy has been on. The last 2 years, they've won all 6 of the races. And you go back a couple of years before that, they won 2 of the 3 back in 2018. So 8 out of the last 9 grand finals have gone to the midshipmen. Right now they're in position to make it 9 out of the last 10, but there could be a strong push here down the stretch with only a 2-seat lead.
Yeah, and this is, again, for Navy, this would just be a real confidence, not just for what it would mean it would put them close to the top of the table, but for Navy it would mean a whole lot in terms of the confidence for their 1V and their 2V, because I think that for this competition this weekend, some of the numbers might indicate, all right, Navy could be gettable, but for this 4V or the V4 to come out here right now and pick out a victory, that could go a long way to reassuring things.
Navy starting to turn it up with their push.
Bucknell,
BU and
Lane
Bucknell
3.
frantically trying to gain back seats, but they're running out of river to do so. Bucknell has picked up
8
ground on Boston
minutes.
University, but Navy has stiff-armed the Terriers here down the stretch. And with just a few more strokes to go, Navy is in good position to continue its winning streak in these grand finals at the Patriot League Championships. Bucknell has ideas on overtaking BU to take second place, as they have almost pulled even with the Terriers. Navy's grown its lead, now almost a full boat length.
Navy,
And the mids,
lane 2.
they have been tested here today, but they withstand this one from Boston University and Bucknell. Navy wins the grand final here in the Varsity 4. BU takes second, followed by Bucknell. And Georgetown will settle for fourth place, with MIT looking in strong position to take
Boston
fifth place.
University, lane 1.
The Mids continue their run in these grand finals, but they took the best shot that the Terriers could give them.
Sure did, and even the Terriers took the best shot that Bucknell could give them. And this was some race, some effort, but it's the perennial power of the Navy midshipmen coming out on top.
Navy, Boston University, and Bucknell, your top three finishers